So, we have this area right here that creates a new random number and then shows it to us on our label right at the start of the game. We already have most of the code we need already for our buttons, because when we click our buttons, we want to be able to guess if the new random number was higher or lower or the same as the previous random number. So, since we already have the code that gives us and shows us a random number, don't we already have most of the code we already need? Yeah. So, if I were to simply do this as that, to just copy and paste it into my button, and now I have that on the higher button, so it'll give us a random number, and then I can just keep clicking the higher, and it'll keep giving me different random numbers, as you see. So, we already generally have all that we need to make a random number. But we have to compare and contrast them first. So, how do we differentiate this dice roll from this dice roll right here? The one that happened on our load versus the one that happened right now when we clicked it. How do we do that? Well, let's take a look. Where is that number being saved right now? It's being saved in our label. It's in our label text. And how does a computer read lines of code? It reads it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on and so forth. So, as long as it happens before we get a new dice roll, we could theoretically make ourselves a new dim. We can make ourselves a dim old throw. Why not? We'll call it dim old throw. As integer equals LBL number dot text. So now we have saved our old throw, and then we're making a new throw, right? So in theory, I should be able to see, if I were to make a new label and, have it be LBL number dot text equals old throw, I would see the old throw. So tell you what, I'll even just do that as an example. I'll do LBL rules dot text equals old throw. So now in theory, when I click this button, you'll wind up seeing two different numbers. So take a look at it. Here's my number, here's my rule set. So theory, this one should move right up here when I click this higher button. See, there it is. There's the 1, and our new number's a 5. Our old number was a 5, our new number's a 4. Now our old number was a 4, and our new random number was also a 4. So on and so forth. You see, it keeps changing based on what the old number was. So, if you want to, you can always throw this in a label just to be able to see if what's happening makes sense. Now, of course, I don't actually want that to do that, so I'm just going to comment that out with an apostrophe. If your text is green, it is a comment, it is being skipped. So, and you can comment every other line if you want to. You can write notes to yourself, tell yourself what you're trying to do here, what should happen, where the error is, where you think an error is happening. Or if you want to, if you have your naming conventions, you can even just say like, okay, this is what will happen when the program first starts. You can just type that in. Now, of course, it's not an actual slash. I'm using the wrong code there. It's an apostrophe. You can just type notes to yourself so that you know what should happen when and where. I would recommend doing that. So how are we going to get this old number and compare it to the new number? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what we're going to do in the next video.